Well, hello everybody. Welcome in. A little bit later start tonight. It's 11:18 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And man, I'll tell you what, it's the weather's been cold when like 22 degrees feels good. So it got up to 22 today in Pennsylvania. It actually felt nice. It was weird. There was no wind or anything because we've been dealing with like last night was like 1 degree. So getting a little warm up and all that stuff. And we're getting ever closer to pitchers and catchers reports. So we're going to revisit the Miss League. This is one of the fun things I like to do. And so two teams that we don't see a lot on the channel are going to be the Twins and the Royals. So these are all-time great teams for the 30 franchises. So but the Minnesota Twins will include the old Washington Senators and the Kansas City Royals. They're kind of their own team. So Jim Kaat versus Brett Saberhagen in tonight's game. So let's get to it. Out of the park 25. All right. I'd like to thank everybody for hanging out last night in our Pocket Pennant Run stream. Had a lot of fun, was able to answer a lot of questions. I'm always chuffed when I get to do that. All right. So let's get to the ballpark. Let's get to the ballpark because that's where we got to be, is the ballpark, right? And I'd like to also welcome in the new subscribers to this channel. So we got 3 more today. So that was very nice. Thank you. This whole community that we're all building here. What a beautiful Kauffman Stadium, huh? How about it? It's it's a nice ballpark, isn't it? All right. So here we go. So looking at the lineup for the Minnesota Twins, it's going to be Knobloch at second base, Sam Rice in center, Goose Goslin in left, Joe Mauer catching and batting fourth, Harmon Killebrew at third base, batting fifth, Rod Carew at first base and in the number 6 slot, Joe Cronin at shortstop, batting seventh, Tony Oliva in right field, batting eighth, and Jim Kaat pitching and batting ninth. Looking at the starting defense for the Kansas City Royals. In left field, Willie Wilson. In center, Amos Otis, Gold Glover. And right, Lorenzo Cain. At first base, Mike Sweeney. Second base, Whit Merrifield. Freddie Patek is at short. George Brett, Gold Glove, third baseman. Salvador Perez catching and on the mound, ready to go. Gold Glove pitcher Brett Saberhagen to face Chuck Knobloch or Chuck Garlic, if you want to talk, because that's what Knobloch means. So Cousin Ken Castro, Nathaniel Lentz joining us here at Irving Kaufman Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri. All right, so here we go. Saberhagen, as we do a nice little swoop around here in Kaufman Stadium. Looking to get a new PC soon. Going to be excited about that. Here's the pitch. Knobloch. Ooh, right through. Nice change up there. Saberhagen gets Knobloch and notches the strikeout. So 1 down now for Hall of Famer Sam Rice. Sam Rice, of course, representing the original Washington Senators. Sam starting the season, he is 1 for 5. Saberhagen peers in, has a sign from Salvador Perez. 0-2 pitch on the way. Sam Rice cuts through this one. So 2 change-ups. Brett Saberhagen not bringing any heat right now. 2 up, 2 down in strikeouts. And here's a Hall of Famer, Goose Goslin. Goslin hitting .455 in the season. He's 5 for 11 with 2 runs batted in. The 0-1 pitch on the way. Goslin connects and fly ball out to center field. And arranging to his right is Amos Otis. We expect to see a lot of great plays from Otis. All right, so the Minnesota Twins go in order, and we go to the bottom of the first. We've already done the lineups. Let's look at the starting defense now for the Minnesota Twins, I should say. So in left field, Goose Goslin. In center, Sam Rice. And in right, Tony Oliva. At first base, Rod Carew. At second, Chuck Knobloch with Gold Glove there. At shortstop, Hall of Famer Joe Cronin. At third, Hall of Famer Harmon Killebrew. Catching, Hall of Famer Joe Mauer, Gold Glover. And Hall of Famer Jim Kaat pitching. Amos Otis to lead things off here, a .286 average for Otis. A home run, 4 runs batted in for him. So each of these teams coming into this evening's game, 1 win and 1 loss in this Myths League that I've really heavily switched up. And swung on, line drive, base hit into center field. And Speedy Amos Otis is aboard. So you can bet that Kaat is going to be keeping a good eye on Amos out there. Amos Otis with some pretty damn fine speed. All right, here's Willie Wilson now. So Willie hitting 286. He's got a run batted in. Amos Otis with a good lead off first. And here's the pitch. Swung on first pitch. Hard grounder to second. Up with that Killebrew. But Otis with too much speed. And they're not able to make the relay because Willie Wilson's even faster. So some good speed on this Kansas City squad. And that brings up George Brett. So George Brett is 6 for 10 on the season. 0-2 pitch to Brett. Brett swings, and this one sinking liner to left. But staying with it, flying over it, is Mr. Goslin for out number 2. So Willie Wilson remains at first now for the catcher. Batting in the cleanup spot, Salvador Perez has yet to homer, but does have an RBI and hitting an even 300. Kaat peers in, 0-2 pitch. Perez swings, and this one, fly ball out to left. Goslin on his horse to his left, and he makes the catch. Side retired. So 1 hit, and that's it. We go to the top of the second inning, and we will see Joe Mauer, Harmon Killebrew, and Rod Carew. Mauer on the season is 3 for 7, including a run batted in. Perez sets the target. Saberhagen to deal. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Mauer cuts on this one. And hard hit ground ball out to second. Merrifield has it. And this will be a textbook 4-3 put out for out number 1. All right, here's the killer. So Killebrew off to a frigid start to this Myths League. Killebrew 0 for 10. So the Twins hoping that the killer is going to break out of this slump. Here's the pitch, 0-1, and Killebrew not going to get out of it. Bouncer to short. Plenty of time for Freddie Patek to retire the killer on a 6-3 putout. So 2 away quickly now for one of the game's great hitters and a man that should never, ever be forgotten is Rod Carew. And I always think of Carew as we know about him now, but I think of Rod Carew as one of those Hall of Famers like, Sam Thompson or Sam Rice or Elmer Flick that I think in time you're not going to hear Carew's name as much. But what a great, great ball player he was. And I don't think there's anybody that would argue with that. Carew off to a 444 start with 2 runs batted in. 2 down here in the top of the second here at Irving Kaufman Stadium, Kansas City, Missouri. And the lefty Carew on the 1-2 pitch. Is this in the alley? Yeah, it's going to stay up. Willie Wilson covering some range out there in left field. 3 up, 3 down for the Minnesota Twins. We go to the bottom of the second. We are scoreless. All right, Mike Sweeney will lead things off here. So Sweeney for the Kansas City squad, he's 3 for 6. Jim Kaat works to Mike Sweeney. Sweeney swings in the first pitch, bounding ball to third, and gloving it easy there at the hot corner is Harmon Killebrew. Score that one 6-3. 1 up, 1 down for Lorenzo Cain. Cain 1 for 8. 2-1 on the way. And Cain swings high fly ball out to right field. This one has some distance. And this one distance enough that it is gone. Lorenzo Cain, 398-foot shot. And the Kansas City Royals jump out to an early lead here in the bottom of the second. It's 1-0. And I love the little the effects that they do here. Always reminds me of that the final scene in The Natural. Let's have another look at that shot here. So Lorenzo Cain, he takes this slider and right out to the party section. Touch them all, Lorenzo. That's Lawrence for English speakers. All right, here's Whit Merrifield now, second baseman for Kansas City. Merrifield with a home run, 2 runs batted in, hitting .222. So he's 2 for 9 overall. 1 down, 1-0 your score. Merrifield swings and gets a good crunching line drive to center field. Merrifield thought about second. He's going to hold it first. So quickly now, the Kansas City Royals with 3 base hits in this game. We're just in the bottom of the second. And here's an excellent shortstop, Freddie Patek. Patek hitting 2 for 8. Count 1 ball, 1 strike. And this one is going to go all the way back to shortstop, gets past Joe Mauer, and they're going to score that a wild pitch on Jim Kaat. And on the play, Whit Merrifield moves into scoring position. So Kansas City with 1 down here in the bottom of the second, looking for a bit more. Baseball demos, he said, good to see the out of the park. Professional shots done. Oh, my God. Thank you for that, David. Yeah, I think you did a great job with it. I'm glad you're playing it. Nathaniel says he met Harmon Killebrew in the 1950s. Harmon and his grandpa were trying to work on a business deal. Dad lost his baseball. 6 years later, my dad and I met him. He got baseball signed again. That is so cool. And Nathaniel mentions, too, about Killer being such a kind man. He says he was the kindest sports athlete he ever met. Everything I've heard about Harmon Killebrew, this guy was just, dude was so cool. Somebody that, you would just love to hang out with, one of the good guys in baseball. But what a fearsome hitter. You look at this, look at it, it's showing just look at his 1969 season here. I mean, this is some damn respectable numbers. A 276 average in 69 for the Killer, 49 home runs, 140 runs batted in. His on-base percentage was .427 in that year, and a .584 slugging average. Fearsome bat. Pretty big dude, too. 5'11", 215, huh? All right. Patek, on the other hand, not a big dude at all. 5'5", 150. All right, here we go. 2-1 pitch on the way to the shortstop. Patek, 2-hopper to second, and gobbling it up out there is Chuck Knobloch. Charles Garlick takes it. Merrifield moves to third on the play, so Kansas City would like to put the crooked number up there now in the bottom of the second. Brings up Brett Saberhagen. Saberhagen is making his first plate appearance of the season. Kaat deals from the stretch. Saberhagen sends this one out to right field and ranging to his right, calling for it. Bringing it down is Tony Oliva. So the Royals pick up a run on that home run by Lorenzo Cain on 2 hits, no errors, and they strand a runner 90 feet away. We head to the top of the third inning here in the Myths League. Kansas City Royals lead the Minnesota Twins 1-0. What camera views am I using? I'm using wide view for this. I like to do this. I know that a lot of guys play using the pitcher, but I love the ballparks, whether these are the ones that come with the game. This comes with the game, or the ones that Mike Silva and others have designed. I somehow like just the look of the whole park. So this particular for Kaufman Stadium, I'm using wide camera for all 3 for initial camera, pitch and action camera. I don't use the dynamic action camera. It kind of makes me seasick. And follow ball, it's just not where I would like it to be yet, because sometimes you follow the ball and you get clipping. If you get like a double off the wall, sometimes you get clipping and stuff like that. So I don't use a lot of those features, but they're certainly there. So, all right. Hall of Famer Joe Cronin, followed by Tony Oliva and Jim Kaat. So Joe Cronin, he's off to a fine start. He is 5 for 2 with 2 runs batted in. The righty steps in against Brett Saberhagen. 0-1 pitch on the way to Cronin. Cronin swings, and this one passed short into center field, and the no-hitter is broken up. So first hit for the Minnesota Twins, and Joe Cronin aboard. Joe Cronin with some decent speed. Here's Tony Oliva, another very, very, very good player. Oliva having a heck of a start to the season. He's hitting .273, baseball fans. 2 home runs, 5 runs batted in. Cronin, good speed, leading off first. Nobody out here in the top of the third at Kauffman Stadium. Let's have a quick check of the weather here, by the way. So clear sky, 44 degrees. We do have a wind going out to center, 12 miles per hour. All right. Saberhagen brings it home. 1-0 pitch to Oliva, sinking liner to center, and right there to make the catch, Amos Otis. So Gold Glover out there in center field, good arm and can cover a lot of ground out there in the pasture. One away, Cronin gets back to first, and here's Jim Kaat. Let's see whether or not Minnesota is going to try to just move Joe Cronin over as we get back to the top of the order and Chuck Knobloch. 1-1 pitch, and he's swinging away. Hard grounder to third. They're going to go to first. So that is kind of a unofficial sacrifice. They weren't looking bunt. And Kaat, not a lot of speed, gets nailed easily. Back at the top of the order now for Chuck Knobloch. He's 0-for-1 in today's game. And Knobloch twisting foul, first base side, and Sweeney makes the play. So Minnesota gets a hit, and that is it. Royals still lead 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the third. We're back at the top of the order for Kansas City. Amos Otis, Willie Wilson, and the great George Brett. All right. Amos Otis, he is 1-for-1. Here is the wind and the pitch. First pitch swinging. This one will end up right in the glove of Hall of Famer Sam Rice, late of the original Washington Senators, who were sometimes called the Nationals. All right, here's Willie Wilson. Willie Wilson, 0-for-1. The wind and the pitch. Wilson swinging on the first pitch. Blooper to second. Knobloch has it. Puts it in his pocket. 2 down now for George Brett. 0-for-1 for George. 1-2 pitch on the way. Oh, Brett not able to catch up to that one. Nice little sinker there. And no runs, hits, or errors, and nobody left on. Top of the fourth inning in a fast-moving game here, guys. And it's 1-0 Kansas City. And it'll be Sam Rice, Goose Goslin, and Joe Mauer due up for the Minnesota Twins. Hall of Famer Sam Rice, 0-for-1 in the game. Saberhagen has fanned 2 in 3 innings of work. The count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Left-hander Sam Rice. Oh, so there you go. How about that? Brett Saberhagen pulls the chain again. Living on that changeup, Saberhagen notches his 3rd K. Here's Goose Goslin. Goslin, 0-for-1. And he flew out his last time up. Goslin swings. Room service bounce to short. And Freddie Patek fires that bullet onto first to Mike Sweeney. Score that one 6-3. Quickly 2 up, 2 down now for recent Hall of Famer Joe Mauer, 0-for-1. Count full on Mauer. Mauer lays off this one just a bit inside. So Saberhagen missing with the hammer. Joe Mauer aboard. And he can steal a few bases. Kind of one of the more fleet-footed catchers, if you will. And here is the killer, Harmon Killebrew. Count 1 ball, no strikes. Killebrew swings, sinking line to the right, but Lorenzo Cain makes the catch. So Minnesota turned away again, no hits and a walk in the inning. We go to the bottom of the fourth. The Kansas City Royals lead the Minnesota Twins 1-0. Salvador Perez, well, we know it. Salvador Perez, Mike Sweeney, and then Lorenzo McCain. Lorenzo McCain responsible for the only run in this ball game, giving the Kansas City faithful something to think about. Saberhagen working on a 1-hitter right now. But Jim Kaat just touched up for that 1 run, that solo shot by Cain back in the second. Joe Mauer sets the target, and he is ready to rock and roll. Count 1-0. Perez flew out his last time up, and this one, just a little hopper ground ball down to third base. Call that one 5-3. That wasn't even close. All right, here's Mike Sweeney, the first baseman for Kansas City, 0-for-1, wearing his Phillies livery. Count 3-1 on Sweeney. Sweeney swings. This should get down for a base hit, and indeed it does. So Sweeney picks up the second base knock here. Or I'm sorry, no, that's the 4th hit for the Kansas City Royals. And here is Lorenzo McCain. Solo shot, 398-foot shot. Count, no balls, 2 strikes. And Cain ain't going to catch up to that curveball. So nice little hammer thrown there by Jim Kaat, and he's fan 2 in the game. All right, with 2 down, Mike Sweeney at first. Whit Merrifield in the box now. He has one of Kansas City's 4 hits. 3-1. Merrifield swings on a hitter's count and pops it up on the left side. And who you going to call? Wow, you're going to call Harmon Killebrew. So the Kansas City 4th is done. No runs, 1 hits, no errors, a runner left on. Score remains 1-0. We head to the top of the 5th inning. Rod Carew, Joe Cronin, Tony Oliva, the number 6, 7, 8 hitters for the Twin City Crew. Carew in the game, 0-for-1. 0-2 pitch on the way from Saberhagen. Carew sends this one out to center field. The wind picking it up a little bit short of the track. Amos Otis will pick it for out number 1. Joe Cronin now. He is 1-for-1. In fact, Cronin has the only hit for the Twins. Here's the pitch. Cronin cuts in his first pitch, swinging hard ground ball to third. Plenty of time for George Brett to gun down Cronin for out number 2 here in the top of the 5th. Brings up Tony Oliva. 0-for-1. The count full on Oliva. Lined out last time. And this solidly stroked to right base hit. So finally, Minnesota here in the 5th gets its second hit. So Saberhagen, working on a 2-hitter, has struck out 3, walked 1. And here's Jim Kaat. 1-for-2. And that's all she wrote. How about it come with some good old-fashioned fastball action there. 94 on the gun. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left on. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning. The Royals lead the Twins 1-0. We'll see Freddie Patek, Brett Saberhagen, and Amos Otis due up here in the home half of the 5th inning on a beautiful but crisp, windy day here at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City. Joe Mauer with the signs. Jim Kaat ready to deal. Here's the 0-2 pitch to Patek. Grounded out his last time up. Patek swings, popped high on the infield, and coming in and making the catch, calling off Mr. Kaat is Mr. Killebrew. So the K&K boys here doing some work. 1 away now for Brett Saberhagen. Count 1-1 Swung on. Slow dribbler out to short, but this is even going to be a race. So Cronin is going to get to anything that gets near him out there. Saberhagen retired on a 6-3 putout. And David says he may start using the wide view. Makes fly balls easier to tell they'll be caught or falling for hit. So I'm going to give you another pro tip here, David. David, my friend. If we go to game options, if you really, this is cool. I've only started using this. Let me make sure that this is, I've been using this, I should say, in Out of the Park 26. Let me see if this is an Out of the Park 25. Because it makes it, sometimes it's weird. It's hard to see some sort of plays. But let me see. Give me a second here because I find it. I think this is really super cool. It'll make you feel like John Madden. If I can find this. Draw a ball flight arc. So we're going to do always. Yeah, we're going to do that always. Flying camera and replays. That's fine. Extra statistical. Yeah. So you want to set draw ball flight always. Now watch what happens. Hopefully you'll see it. It's like it's cool. All right, Amos Otis. Now we're back at the top of the order. Amos is 1-for-2. Royals holding on to a 1-0 lead. Kaat ready to work. Otis swings, and this one popped out into left and right down the glove of Goose Goslin. So you can see you got that nice visual aid. I like it. It's cool. It's not something I'll use all the time. But anyhow, 3 up, 3 down. We go to the top of the 6th. Kansas City still leads 1-0. All right, Chuck Knobloch. Now we're back at the top of the order for Minnesota. Chuck Knobloch, Sam Rice, Goose Goslin. Attendance today, around 18,000 here at Kauffman Stadium in April. Salvador Perez sets the target. The 1-2 pitch on the way to Mr. Garlick. And this one, is this a gapper? Nope, cover in. Some ground out there in left field is Willie Wilson. So 1 out. Nice play there by Wilson to get to that ball. Here's Sam Rice. He is 0-for-2. 1-0 pitch. Rice cuts on this one. And this is going to be just a big league pop-up out in the middle of the infield. And bringing it down is Freddie Patek. So 2 up, 2 down now for the Twins. And that brings up Goose Goslin. Again, just 2 hits off of Brett Saberhagen. 1-2 pitch. Goslin swings, and that's one of those ones that can be a little tricky. Clean base hit into center field. So I'm going to use this for a while. Goslin at first with good speed, but 2 down. I don't expect Kansas City to do anything kind of risky just yet. But here comes Joe Mauer, who's nothing for 1. Mauer, first pitch swinging. This one a little weird squibbler out there to second base. But Merrifield staying with the ball for the 4-3 putout. So the Twins get a hit, strand 1. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It's still 1-0. We got us a good ball game. I was kind of hoping it would be Jim Kaat and Brett Saberhagen. So baseball, David says, yes, tinker with OBS. Recorded out of the park game was fine, but your attempt at live stream had no sound. Oh, I can tell you exactly why. Well, let me offer you a suggestion, David, if you don't mind. I think OBS is good for recording games, but StreamYard, I think, is easier. And here's why. Here's why I like StreamYard, David, for doing live streams. There's no delay. So like with OBS, there's a 6-second delay if you're doing it, 5 to 6 second delay if you're doing a live stream. That's where the pink glove of despair came up in our McGreevy League. But you're hearing me, and if you type something right now, I will see it as soon as it hits the chat. I like StreamYard for that. You got to click one button for StreamYard. The other reason I like it for live work is to set up OBS to do music. So you guys know I do music as well. I'm a musician. And I'll be doing it for Magic too, so Magic in real time. Because all I have to do is flick one switch in StreamYard. And if I was here playing a piano, synthesizer, whatever, you would hear it at the same time I'm playing it. And, you know, the StreamYard's nice. I don't use OBS anymore for anything. I've fallen in love with StreamYard, and that's where it is. As far as OBS not having sound, where that gets a little bit tricky is you've got to make sure you've got everything selected, give it a good test, and also work your sliders, or what we call channel strips in music. So to make sure that your signal's strong. Sometimes OBS can get a little bit squiffy about that. But if you want some time, we can, I can put OBS back on and show you. I can show you a couple neat settings with OBS. Okay. All right. That being said, let's go back to the bottom of the 6th inning here at Irving Kaufman Stadium in Kansas City. Oh my God. Speaking of which, there is a cosmetic update in Out of the Park Baseball 26 that you guys are going to think is just super cool. Another cosmetic update. Because I was looking at something here on the field and it reminded me of it. That's all I can say. All right. I think they're kind of, in a way, I've predicted that while it's never going to be MLB The Show, you can definitely see that they're working hard to create not only an excellent baseball sim, but also I think, you know, if you have somebody who's just played MLB The Show and they're like, well, I'm looking for something a little bit more deep. Well, graphically, this is the best looking of the baseball sims out there. I realize Action PC uses, actual photos of ballparks and stuff. But I think as far as text-based baseball sims, this is the game. And I think somebody that, has played MLB The Show, or maybe they've played Super Mega Baseball, but they want a deep baseball sim. I think they'll play this before they'll play some of the other games. Certainly, they're not going to play Diamond Mine, wonderful game that it is, or Digital Diamond so much. But I think this is a great game to hook people into serious deep baseball sims. Because I think as we take Legends out of the picture for a moment, he's making MLB The Show do what it was never meant to do. So it's really more, I think Robert's right. It's more of a baseball game, I think, than a baseball sim. Right. This is definitely a deep baseball sim, and I could see somebody who's played MLB The Show saying, "Hey, wait, this looks nice," and then when they start to see how deep it is, right? So I do love this. Is just slightly my favorite baseball sim of all time. I love it. Action PC and Baseball for Windows are right behind this one, but I love Out of the Park Baseball. Love it. It's scary, deep, but I love it. All right, Willie Wilson here, nothing for two. That's why, David, I think you did a great job with it. You're a newbie at this, and you did great. 1-2 pitch. Oh, Willie Wilson. Nice slider. How about that? Jim Kaat bringing it. Strikeout number 3. 1 down now for George Brett. Count even in Brett, 2-2. Brett swings, hard hit ground ball, and this is going to split first and second base. And Mr. Brett picks up hit number 5 for the Kansas City Royals. 1 away now for Salvador Perez. Nothing for 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Perez swings. Little hopper out to third. 5-4-3. How about it? The runs, 1 hit, no errors, and of course nobody left on because of the double play. We go to the top of the 7th. The Royals won, the Twins nothing. So Cousin Ken, hopefully this meets your approval for a good, tight ball game. The line for the Minnesota Twins thus far, 0-3-0. For the Kansas City Royals, 1-5-0. David, I don't know if you're aware or not. Let me show you a couple tricks here. Maybe things I didn't show you before. So if you go to option, or if you go to view, beyond just your camera views, let's say you want something that's showing a lot more stats, go to classic 3D view and watch what happens. So right now up here, yeah, you are seeing these nice little, nice clean looking things, but you notice the paucity of stats. Watch what happens when we go to classic 3D view. Dude, this is made for a stat head. All right, so you don't have, the logos are gone. You get a bigger view of the ballpark, but look at this. You get a lot more stats, what's going on. So let's face it, we're baseball fans, we're stat heads. All right, Cousin's enjoying this one. So just something to think about, David, if you want to try. And this is nice, too, because the classic 3D view, I think for people that are new to this game, but they want still that older kind of look to it, right? So everything is accessible. I can look at either bullpen right away, but so I can see how, I can look at career stats and, just all kinds of things like this. And you can get really, really, really deep if you like it. I tend to play with the other view. But I just wanted to show you this as another possible way to play. And of course, you can configure your screen. You can move widgets to wherever you want them. I know we didn't go over that either. So if you want, like Chris Slovic has all kinds of things set up on Out of the Park Baseball. That's pretty nuts. But if you go to configure screen, that's where you can have a lot of fun. All right, but we're going to back to the modern 3D view. This is the one I prefer. Only because usually I'm playing in eras where I know a good deal about dead ball players, so I really don't need a lot of those stats. But I do. I think it's cool. And of course, if you want to play a very sexy version of Diamond Mine Baseball, check this out. This is pretty cool. So you got this. Now, there's not going to be any ball flight or anything like that, but now you're getting even more. But you want to even see more? Look at this. There's the classic webcast view. The webcast view, this is basically, it's Diamond Mine Baseball. Let's go ahead and we'll just do one batter. So here's Harmon Killebrew. So Killebrew today is 0 for 2. So you do got to kind of look around here a little bit. There's a lot. It's dense. But here you're going to see pitch locations and pitch sequence, which you can also invoke in the modern 3D view. But this is right. So you got fielder positioning here. You can see where everybody is. Pretty nice pitch locations. All right. So here we go. All right. 2-2. Saberhagen fires it in, and that's strike 3. And see, you can see the whole pitch sequence. Now, where this is nice, too, is you can play out of the park baseball pitch by pitch if you want. Okay, so anyhow, so Saberhagen gets him on the sinker. So a lot of ways to play this game. And for people coming over to from Diamond Mine, I also like this, too, that you actually do get the fence heights shown here, which I think is super cool. Anyhow, back to modern 3D view. And here we go. Out of the park baseball, David, I don't have an official release date. They don't tell beta testers that. But it's been my experience usually late March. And I don't think the developers would mind me saying you definitely will want to upgrade from 25 for a lot of reasons that I can't talk about right now. It is definitely going to be worth it. And there's always a discount if you pre-order the game. I don't think it's up yet for pre-order. I haven't looked. This game is a steal at full price. It's $49.95, but it's a steal with what it gives you. I know a lot of people wait for sales. There are times where this game will go as low as $10, and $10 for pretty much the entirety of baseball. That's a great, with beautiful graphics, a deep engine. I'm gonna have to show you guys sometime the menu, the function here that will track your replay versus an actual replay, and it's this game is really accurate as long as you're willing to put some work into it. This game's baseball engine is fantastic, and that's why I'd like to get Mike Garland on again sometime to go deep with this and this. So yeah, David stole it for $9.95. Can't beat it, man. You cannot beat it. I mean, that's what, 3 strat seasons or something like that? I don't know, whatever. Or 3 PC replay seasons, and you're getting, well, that's one. So that's one, what, payoff pitch season or whatever. There's one of them costs $9.95. I forget which one it is. All right, here is Rod Carew, nothing for 2. 2-1 pitch. Carew swings, and this one's just a dribbler back to the mound. Saberhagen coming off the bump to his left. Score that one 1-3. Quickly 2 down now. And here's Joe Cronin, who's 1 for 2. So just he has one of the 3 hits off of Saberhagen, who's now fan 5. It's behind 2-1 to Cronin. Cronin swings, and this one's sinking line to the right, but Lorenzo Cain making the catch, and runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. 7th inning stretch time, and the Royals lead the Twins 1-0, and I will be right back. All right, we are back. Good to see our good friend Dwayne Martson here. So the other day, Dwayne let me come on to his broadcast a little bit. So, guys, if you are looking to learn pretty much anything about Digital Diamond Baseball, Dwayne Martz is the man. He did a great tutorial on importing players. I was able to tell him about a huge player library for Digital Diamond Baseball called Bring Your Best 2017. If you guys are into importing players, creating one-if leagues, or you just want to do a lot of mixing, matching, whatever, Dwayne, just check out his tutorials on Digital Diamond Baseball. I think that Mark Cohen needs to have Dwayne Martz be the official kind of, here's how you do it guy for Digital Diamond Baseball. I learned so much in that 45-minute stream by Dwayne. So, Dwayne, appreciate it, man. All right. Here's Mike Sweeney. Mike Sweeney's 1 for 2. So it's going to be Sweeney, Kane, and Merrifield due up for the Kansas City Royals, leading 1-0 here in the home half of the 7th. Jim Kaat ready to deal 1-0 pitch. And this one is going to bring a little bit of rain. Oh, and off the fence. Off the fence. So how about that? Killebrew They're going to score that an error. That should have been an easy play for Harmon. He's going to, let's look at that one again. Look at that one again. Killebrew definitely should have made that play. So let's watch this. Killebrew going toward the dugout, third base side, twisty, twisty, twisty. And Killebrew just kind of, it looked like it may have hit off his glove and the railing there on the third base dugout side. All right, so first error in the game. So Mike Sweeney getting another look here, Jim Kaat. Sweeney does have a hit off of Kaat today. Count, 2 balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. And Sweeney sends this out to center field, and Sam Rice has picked it. So you have 2 excellent center fielders in this game, Sam Rice and Amos Otis. All right, here's Lorenzo Cain again. 1 hit in this game, and it was a big one. It was the one that is the only run in this game. Solo shot back in the second. Kaat ready to deal. Lorenzo Cain cuts in the first pitch. Hard hit ball center field. This one back. But it's Sam Rice making the nice running catch. 2 down. Looks like he was lollygagging. All I see is lollygagging. Oh, my God. So lollygagging. What movie? What baseball movie is that? You lollygag here. You lollygag. What? Oh, my God. What movie is that? It's a baseball movie about lollygagging. Was it? Oh, shit. Oh, yeah, Bull Durham. Bull Durham. Lollygagging. I love it. Oh, I haven't seen that movie in so long. Bull Durham, yeah. You know, they're supposed to make, it never happened. They were going to make a sequel to that movie. And so you're right at the end, right? You know, he and Susan Sarandon, that character, Susan Sarandon's character, you know, they're sitting on the porch swing, right? And so he was supposed to be managing in the low minors the next year. Don't know why the sequel never happened. I think it would have been fun to kind of follow their story. Too bad it didn't, though. You lollygag here, you lollygag. I love it. I love it. Now I want to watch Bull Durham. I'm going to have to dig it up. All right, Whit Merrifield bats with 2 down here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 1-2 pitch on the way. Merrifield swing and a miss. And this one on the hammer. So the Royals, even though there was an error, the error really wasn't a gift. We go to the 8th. It's 1-0. And we will see the number 8, 9, and 1 hitters for the Minnesota Twins. Tony Oliva, Jim Kaat, and Chuck Knobloch. Be surprised. They might pinch hit for Kaat. We'll see. Jim Kaat pitching a 5-hitter right now. Brett Saberhagen pitching a 3-hit shutout. 1-2 pitch. Cut on and missed by Oliva. Beautiful, beautiful changeup. So once again, Saberhagen with 6 strikeouts, and I believe at least 5 of those 6 strikeouts came on the changeup from Saberhagen. And we will see a pinch hitter. Jim Kaat's day is done. Buddy Meyer will come in. So we're going to look at Buddy Meyer here to give you a little historical perspective on Meyer. We'll look at his real-time stats. So Meyer played from 1925 to 1941. Just looking here. So 38 lifetime home runs, a lifetime 303 hitter. His OPS plus lifetime was 112, a WAR of 39.1, if those of you care about that, 850 RBI, so pretty solid. 130 lifetime triples. When you consider that the record for triples is 312, 130 ain't so bad, huh? 353 lifetime doubles. So good hitter. Again, I like that 303 average. So his best years, just looking here, or so looking at his career, so your career highs here, you're just looking at, so with Boston, it looks like his best year with Boston. Just looking, I know we're going to know so much about Buddy Meyer. 301 average with Boston. So whatever season that is. Anyhow, there you go. You can also, by the way, for those of you that don't know, you can look at expanding batting stats. It's like having Baseball Reference right in the game. So you want WRC plus and BABIP and all that. Out of the Park Baseball has it all. Has it all. Has it all. Has it all. All right. Even have your own player page. The player page is cool. I'm kind of doing this for David's benefit. So, David, I don't know if you even know this existed. This, you talk about tracking during a season, replay, or a project, right? I mean, look at what this does. You're going to get game log in the last 10 games. You're going to see everything that he's done, whether he's career, road, grass, day, as a pinch hitter, in a close game, a late game, innings, extra innings, on counts, whether he was behind the count, ahead in the count, his batting average, leverage, all kinds of really, you can see it just goes on and on and on. His position ratings, stuff like that, run bunt. You can get down at the player level and work with these players. So if you really, really, really want to get deep into tracking stats, like as we baseball fans love to do, this is it's just incredible. I love this. All right. Anyhow, back to the game. And here's Buddy Meyer, bats lefty. And here's the pitch. Meyer swings, and what a beautiful bounce right to short. You couldn't ask. Freddie Patek couldn't ask for an easier play. Score that one 6-3, 2 down. We're back at the top of the order now for Chuck Knobloch. Disappointing going for 3 for Chuck. 1-1 pitch on the way. Knobloch swings, and with authority, this is going to get down into right field. Base hit for Knobloch. Hit number 4 for the Twins, trying to get something going. They seem to be getting their hits at 2 outs. Knobloch with good speed. Here's Sam Rice, good candidate for a hit and run. Let's see what happens. 3-0 pitch. Rice swinging. This is a gapper in the alley and left. And will it be enough? Tearing around third, as Dwayne would say, a brown-eyed, handsome man. And there we go. Chuck Knobloch in thanks to the Sam Rice RBI double. And in the top of the 8th, we got us a whole new ball game. The Twins tied up. John DFW joining us here at Kauffman Stadium. How you doing, John? Good to see you. It's nice to be back playing some out of the park baseball. All right, here's number 3 hitter Goose Goslin. Sam Rice with great speed hanging out third. Goslin gets a little blooper somewhere on the right-hand side. And for the first time, the Twins could take the lead in this game. 2 down, 1-2 pitch. And that's not going to be enough. Slow grounder to second. Merrifield has it all the way. But the Minnesota Twins pick up a run on 2 hits. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning, and we are knotted at 1. 8, 9, and 1 hitters due up. Freddie Patek, Brett Saberhagen. And, so we have a defensive substitution, Alex Gordon. So I didn't realize Alex Gordon. They sneaked Alex in there at some point today. All right, here's Patek. Al Worthington now on in relief. Let's look at a little bit about Al Worthington here from the Minnesota Twins. We're just looking at his 1965 season. He went 10-7, 21 saves, so not too bad. 41 strikeouts, 59 walks, a 2.13 earned run average for a superb 1965 Twins team. All right, here we go. I don't know that we have any Twins fans in the community. Do we? I mean, I like them. Do we have some Twins fans? 1-1 pitch. And this one, Patek, little bouncer down to third. And that is just a routine Babe Ruth league play for Harmon Killebrew. Darryl Porter will come in now. So, Saberhagen's day is done. Darryl Porter on the season thus far, he is 1 for 2, including an RBI. Worthington peers in. Joe Mauer with the sign, and the 2-1 pitch on the way. Darryl Porter, the lefty, swings. Fly ball out to right field. Tony Oliva will retrieve that can of corn, 1 away, and here's Alex Gordon. So Alex Gordon, making his first plate appearance in the game. Just over 0 for 1 in the season. Count full on Gordon. Gordon, little dribbler to first. This is going to be close, and they're not going to get Alex Gordon. They will not get him. So Alex Gordon with an infield hit, the potential go-ahead run on first for the Kansas City Royals. And it brings up Willie Wilson, who is 0 for 3. Kansas City hoping Willie can bust something open here and break up this tie. 1-2 pitch. Wilson swings, sinking fly ball out to center field, right into the glove of Sam Rice. 8th inning is over, so the Royals pick up a hit, and that is it. We go to the top of the 9th. Minnesota and Kansas City are tied. And Greg Holland will come on now in relief for the Kansas City Royals. So just have a quick look at Greg Holland. Good year for saves for Holland in 2013 with 47. Worked 67 innings in relief. And look at this. How about it? Walked 18, struck out 103. Greg Holland with a 1.2 earned run average in 2013. All right, here we go. Joe Mauer, Harmon Killebrew, and Rod Carew due up for the Minnesota Twins here in the top of the 9th. Looking around here, making sure I'm not missing any defensive substitutions. We're ready to go. Holland deals the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Lefty Mauer swings through the fastball, 99 on the gun. Holland saying, I'm going to pitch it, and if you can hit it, more power to you. All right, here's Killer, nothing for 3. Holland deals. Killebrew struck out his last time. High fly ball center field. Is it deep enough at the track? Off the wall. Oh, Willie Wilson with the one-handed grab. Beautiful play out there by Willie Wilson in center field. That one looked like trouble. We do have the wind blowing out to center a little bit. So Willie Wilson going back and boom, makes the catch. Nice play. All right, 2 up, 2 down. Here's Rod Carew. You don't expect to see Rod Carew going 0 for 3 at any point, but he is here. 0-1 pitch to Carew. Carew swings, base hit into right field. And once again, Minnesota doing the get 2 outs, get a hit trick. All right, here's Joe Cronin, 1 for 3. Carew, good speed at first. Joe Cronin can pick up an RBI here. Let's see if it happens. Count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cronin swings. Ain't happening this time, baseball fans. Lazy fly ball, center field. Nestling gently into the glove of Willie Wilson. So the Twins strand a runner. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Could it be walk-off time here? Glenn Perkins comes on now for Minnesota, and he will face George Brett. He'll face Brett, Perez, and Sweeney. Let's look at just a quick number here for Glenn Perkins. So Perkins with 36 saves in 2013, 15 walks, 77 strikeouts, 62 2/3 worked with a 230 average. All right. So got pretty good stuff here, we're told. Average move. So, all right, let's go. He's behind 3-1 to George Brett. Oh, George Brett gaps this one in the alley all the way to the wall. Let's see what Mr. Brett does. Mr. Brett is going to stop at second. So the potential winning run on board now at second base for the Kansas City Royals. And here's Salvador Perez. Nothing for 3. 1-0 pitch. Hitters count. Popped in the infield, right-hand side. Chuck Knobloch will glove that one out. Number 1. George Brett isn't going anywhere in the infield fly rule. Here's Mike Sweeney, 1 for 3, looking to be a hero. Ahead 3-1. Mike Sweeney will draw the walk. Here we go. So that fastball misses. And here comes Lorenzo Cain, who has a home run in this game. The Kansas City Royals' only run way back in the second inning. And they held that lead until the 8th. So here we go. Greg Holland asking for a new ball, rubs it up. Mauer runs out to the mound, has a quick word. I'm sorry, not Holland, Perkins. Now back behind. Into the crouch, the sign. Perkins checks the runner. Good speed on the base paths here for Kansas City. 0-1 on the way. Lorenzo Cain swings, and they're going to turn the 2-ball to end it. How about that? So we got extra baseball. Top of the 10th. It's 1-1. Jeff Montgomery now pitching for the Kansas City Royals. So yet another reliever. They're getting busy here. So Montgomery, just a little highlight from him, 1989. And if anybody of you watched Jester's back in 2018, his Bo Jackson replay, you would have run into Jeff Montgomery a few times. 18 saves in 1989, 92 innings pitched for him, 25 walks, 94 strikeouts, and a very stingy 1.37 earned run average for Jeff Montgomery. Montgomery will face the bottom of the order, Tony Oliva, pinch hitter for Perkins, and then back at the top of the order, and Chuck Knobloch. Anybody's ball game here in the 10th. Ready to rock. Here we go. Oliva cuts on the first pitch. This is going to get down, base hit. Playing it on the bounce out there in center field is Willie Wilson. All right, and we have a pinch hitter, as I suspected, Joe Judge. Joe Judge, a player that we'll focus on at some later point with a story. Tell you a little bit about Joe Judge, one of these players that spanned and made a successful transition from the dead ball into live ball baseball. Began in 1915, played until 1934. Good long career for him. Played most of his career with the Washington Senators. Played a season with Brooklyn, and then finished out with Boston. So let's look at just his basic batting stats first. All right. So just 71 career home runs, 1,034 runs batted in for Joe Judge. Joe Judge, 213 career steals, so he gets on there. 298 average for him. So Joe Judge, a very important part of these Washington Senators teams. I would say Hall of Very Good. All right. So, and we have speed here. Clyde Milan. Clyde Milan is on to pinch run. And let's look at Clyde Milan here for a little bit. 495 career stolen bases. A 285 hitter, but so stolen bases. They're going to try to get something going here. And again, 105 lifetime triples. So, and nicknamed Deerfoot, Clyde Milan. All right. Lefty Joe Judge, here we go. Milan has an aggressive lead. Salvador Perez, though, has a powerful arm. So Milan, this is going to be fun if Milan takes off here. Nobody out. This is a perfect opportunity for Minnesota to get a runner in scoring position. 2-2 pitch. The runner does not go. Swing and a miss. Oh, my goodness. That was a changeup, too. How about that? So Jeff Montgomery brings the change out, racks up a K. Back at the top of the order, Chuck Knobloch has 1 safety and 4 attempts. Count full on Knobloch. Knobloch is going to take ball 4. Fastball missing, and Montgomery wanted to pitch. 2 on now for Sam Rice. It's getting a little tense here in Kansas City. Sam Rice has an RBI. He's 1 for 4. Count, no balls, 2 strikes. And Sam Rice, hard hit ground ball to third, and George Brett staying with it makes the nice play. Minnesota trying to argue the call, but the umpire just walks away. 2 down. Could Minnesota be squandering a chance here in the 10th? Here's Goose Goslin. Goslin 1 for 4. Here's the pitch. Goslin, first pitch swinging. Oh, nice stop over there at second base by Merrifield. Stops an extra base hit. And the Twins are turned away, gentlemen. They leave 2 in scoring position. We go to the bottom of the 10th. 1-7-1 for Minnesota, 1-7-0 for Kansas City. And Joe Nathan comes on now. So I don't have to tell you guys much about Joe Nathan. You're going to know about Joe Nathan, right? But we'll just hover over Joe Nathan and let's have a little fun here. in 2004 with the Minnesota Twins. 44 saves, a 1.62 earned run average from 89 strikeouts, 23 walks, and he worked 72 and a third. All right, here we go. John Mayberry will come on to pinch hit. Mayberry in the season is hitting .273 with a home run and 3 runs batted in. He's ahead in the count 3-1. Lefty Mayberry draws the walk. Go-ahead run reaches first now for the Royals. And here's Freddie Patek. Nothing for 3. And the runner goes. Patek gets a nice bunt down to third. Sacrifice successful. Beautiful work there by Freddie Patek. Okay, so John Mayberry now in scoring position for the Kansas City Royals, and brings up Kevin Seitzer. All right, Kevin Seitzer making his first plate appearance overall, just 0 for 2 in the season. Count 1 ball, no strikes to Seitzer. Long fly ball to center field, and making the catch is Sam Rice. Tagging at second, making third is John Mayberry. So the winning run just 90 feet away, and we're back at the top of the order. Alex Gordon, who scored himself an infield single last time. 0-2 pitch. Gordon cuts right through it. Swing and a miss on a 101-mile-an-hour fastball. And we go to the 11th. It's 1-1. Joe Mauer, Harmon Killebrew, Rod Carew due up for the Twins. Frank White into play second base. And I think we're good. All right. Montgomery stays on. He's worked an inning in relief. Count, no balls, 1 strike on Joe Mauer. And Mauer, a little number out in front of the plate. And jumping on is Salvador Perez. And fires onto first. So 1 away. Kevin Seitzer in at first base. All right. So the right side of the infield. Not the same right side of the infield at the beginning of the game. Here's Harmon Killebrew. 0 for 4. I know folks in the chat want to see Killebrew go about 3 miles here on this one. 0-1 pitch. Killebrew high, deep to right, and I'll be damned. How about it? Harmon Killebrew does it. 376 feet, and the Twins now take the lead in this game 2-1. The first time the Twins have ever led in this game. How about that? Harmon Killebrew doing it up. Let's watch that one again. Exit velocity in this was 96. Big looping drive, or big looping home run there. Just over the fence, but Minnesota hangs on and wins this one. That's going to read like a Mickey Mantle 500-foot shot. All right, here's Rod Carew, 1 for 4. Minnesota would like to tack on to this lead. When we get to the Royals, in the bottom of the 11th, it's going to be Wilson, Brett, and Perez. Lefty Carew in there against Montgomery, who has a walk and a strikeout, touched up for a home run now. 2-2 pitch. Carew, swing, bada, and a miss on a fastball. So Carew goes down on strikes. Jeff Montgomery with 2 Ks in the game, and here's Joe Cronin, 1 for 4. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes on the Hall of Famer. And room service bounce to third. Score that one 5-3. George Bett with a strong peg across the diamond, but the Twins pick up a tally. We go to the bottom of the 11th. Minnesota looking to win this one. They want to win it 2-1. So they got to get past Willie Wilson, George Brett, and Salvador Perez. Willie Wilson sitting on the bubble here, wearing the collar, Cousin Ken. He's 0 for 4. Count even at 2 balls, 2 strikes. Flied out to center. Oh, swing and a miss. And this one, a nice sinker coming there from Joe Nathan. Notch 2 Ks for him. Here's George Brett. 2 for 4 for Brett. Outfield playing deep against Brett. Liner to first. And Kent Herbeck, who I didn't realize is in there playing defense. Out number 2. It's down to David DeJesus. DeJesus seeing very limited action again early on in the season. DeJesus, 0 for 1, was brought in as a pinch hitter. All right. So can Minnesota pull it out? Joe Nathan looking for the win. 3-1 pitch to DeJesus. DeJesus swings. Ain't over yet. And this one, little bloop base hit into left field. So DeJesus aboard, and here we go. Hal McRae, huh? Here's a name from the past. Hal McRae seeing limited action thus far. He is 1 for 10. 1-2 pitch. McRae swings. Base hit up the middle. These teams are battling it out. Hell of a good ball game we got here. Sliding into third is David DeJesus. Here we go. And here is Lorenzo Cain. Again, 1 for 4, but had that big home run. Can Cain walk it off? It's up to Lorenzo McCain. So first base is open. So you got to wonder in the bottom of the 11th with 2 down, do you want to try to pitch around Cain to Frank White and test him? I think they're going to pitch to him, though. Yep, 2-1 pitch. Oh, my God, I can't believe it. Wild pitch, and we are tied again. Oh, my God. Can you believe it? And that's it. Here comes Rick Aguilera. So Aguilera comes on in relief now. Aguilera making his first appearance of the season. Unbelievable, man. Here we go. Count 3 balls, 2 strikes. Lorenzo Cain swings through it. That's out number 3. We go to the 12th. Out of the Park Baseball knows when I haven't played it in a long time because it does this. I get extra inning games or I get blowouts that take like 3 hours to call. I guess it gets lonely. All right, Wade Davis on to pitch now for the Kansas City Royals. And here's Bob Allison. Bob Allison, again, part of those powerful Twins teams in the mid-1960s. So, Davis, what can we say about Wade Davis? Yeah, nothing terribly exciting about Wade Davis. Bob Allison, pretty good year in 1962. Actually better in 1963 with Minnesota with 35 home runs, 91 ribbies, had 102 in 62. So it stayed around the mid, higher mid 200s as a hitter. All right, Wade Davis ready to deal. Count 4 on Bob Allison. Bob Allison, swing and a miss, fastball. All right, notch 1 for Wade Davis. And here's another one, Earl Batty. Batty nothing for 2 in the season. The wind and the pitch. Batty swings. Fly ball to sort of deep left field. Alex Gordon brings it down. So you got 2 Gold Glovers out there for Kansas City. 2 up, 2 down now. Back at the top of the order for Chuck Knobloch. Count even at 2. Knobloch. Oh, what a great play over there at short. What a great play by Freddie Patek. Great range. Minnesota goes good morning, good afternoon, good night. We go to the bottom of the 12th inning, damn it. Yeah, it's 2-2. All right, Juan Rincon now comes on in relief. They are hitting the pen hard here today. Rincon had a pretty good year in Minnesota 2004. He was 11-6 with 2 saves, 32 walks, 106 strikeouts, and a 2.63 earned run average. All right, Frank White at the plate came in as a defensive substitution. 1-2 pitch on the way to Frank White. Oh, look at that. That's a knee buckling called strike 3. Beautiful slider coming in there from Rincon. So 1 out now for Freddie Patek, nothing for 3. 0-2 pitch on the way. Sacrifice last time up. And Patek, 1 bouncer to first. And up with that is Ken Herbeck, and he's going to fire onto Rincon. Score that one 3-1. 2 up, 2 down for Kevin Seitzer. Kevin Seitzer would like to do something here. He's 0 for 3 in the season. 0-2 pitch. Flew out his last time up. Kevin Seitzer is going to fly out again, this time to left. Goslin has it. They go in order, baseball fans. We go to the top of inning 13. And I don't want to autoplay a tie game. These teams have played tough baseball all the way through. Will they have bullpens for the next game? Probably not. That starter is going to eat up some innings. Line for the Twins, 2-8-1. For the Royals, 2-9-0. Saberhagen, Brett Saberhagen and Jim Kaat, distant memories by this point. All right. So David DeJesus, he's got a catch. So DeJesus is catching. And Wade Davis will face Sam Rice, Goose Goslin, and Joe Mauer. Hall of Fame, Hall of Fame, Hall of Fame. Sam Rice grounded out his last time up. First pitch swinging, line drive over third into left field, and Sam Rice is aboard. All right, so Minnesota with serious speed on the base paths. Here's Goose Goslin. If I was managing this game, I would hit and run at this point. 1-1 pitch, and the runner goes, Sam Rice, and he is safe. That was a close play at second. But Sam Rice stealing his second base on the season. So Minnesota now getting a little bit aggressive here. Goslin back in the box. The count, 2 balls, 1 strike. Goslin swings. Oh, this one is hit deep, but short of the track is Alex Gordon, and moving to third after tagging Sam Rice, playing some hard-nosed baseball. Sam Rice wants to win this game, and no more damn wild pitches either. All right, here's Joe Mauer batting with 1 down. Sam Rice just 90 feet away. Wade Davis working out of the stretch. The count even at 2 on Mauer. Mauer swings, fly ball to center. This should be deep enough to score the fleet-footed Sam Rice, and indeed it will. And one more time, Minnesota will take the lead. It's 3-2. All right, here comes Harmon Killebrew. Home run last time up. We called it before it happened. 1-1 pitch to Killer. Killebrew swings. This will stay in the park. Fly ball out to center field. And targeting it up is Willie Wilson. Twins pick up a run. Can they hold it? 3-2 as we go to the bottom of inning number 13. Back at the top of the order for the Kansas City 9. Alex Gordon, Willie Wilson, George Brett. Juan Rincon will stay on relief. He has a strikeout. He's worked an inning. Lefty Gordon, 1 for 2, had an infield single in this game. All right, he's ahead 2-0. Gordon swings. Oh, little dribbler. Oh, this is going to hurt. Oh, my goodness gracious. So Knobloch unable to make the play. And it looks like they're going to give Alex Gordon a hit. So the tying run is now on first. Here's Willie Wilson. 0 for 5. So Juan Rincon would like to try to somehow get rid of Alex Gordon here, who has some speed. Oh, nice bunt there. And bunted in the air, though, and Rincon has it. How about that little gift? 1 down. And we have another pitching change now for Minnesota. Taylor Rogers will come on, the southpaw, to face lefty George Brett. Taylor Rogers, always got to look for something. So Taylor Rogers, pretty good work for Minnesota in 2019. In 69 innings worked, had 30 saves, 11 walks, 90 strikeouts, a 2.61 average for the lefty. All right, George Brett in there now. Alex Gordon at first, 1 away, 3-2 your score here in the bottom of the 13th. 1-0 pitch on the way to George Brett. Lined out as last time, and this one, liner, foul territory, and at the seats, Bob Allison makes the catch, 2 down. And we know what happened last time. Taylor Rogers maintaining laser focus here. Like the ballpark. That's a beautiful ballpark, isn't it? Yeah, Clinton Park says he'd run a drag bunt. Absolutely. All right, David DeJesus, 1 for 1 in the game. Taylor Rogers, he is praying to every deity out there that this ball doesn't get past Mauer. And so am I, because then we go to the 14th, right? Count is full. Swing and a miss, and that's your ball game. And what a great ball game this one was. Minnesota really steals this from Kansas City. Well-played game on both sides, though. Wow. One of the best ones ever on this channel, I think. The Minnesota Twins will improve to 2-1. The Royals fall to 1-2. The line for the Twins took them 13 innings, but they did it. 3 runs, 9 hits, 1 error. For the Kansas City Royals, 2 runs, 10 hits, no errors. The Minnesota Twins took Kansas City pitcher Brett Saberhagen's best shot and still were able to claim a win at Kauffman Stadium. The final score had Minnesota getting past the Royals 3-2. Saberhagen went 8 innings and allowed 1 run, striking out 6. The Twins, now 2-1, have been playing some good baseball. Joe Mauer, who's a 3-time Great Glove award winner, because I guess they can't do Gold Glove winner, I guess, I don't know, had a direct impact on the outcome. Mauer contributed a run-scoring sacrifice fly in the top of the 13th to put Minnesota up 3-2. We're not going to go over all the pitching. I know Clinton likes to do that, so we're just going to see. So Rick Aguilera gets the blown save, Jose Rincon gets the win, and Taylor Rogers gets the save for Minnesota. How did the starting pitchers fare? At least we can look at that. Jim Kaat went 7-5 hits, 1 earned run, struck out 4, gave up a home run. For Brett Saberhagen, you already heard in the recap, 8 innings, struck out 6, gave up an earned run. Let me see here. So as far as Kansas City, Wade Davis gets tagged with the loss. Your player of the game is Brett Saberhagen. A hard-fought game. This was great. Really loved this one. You're welcome, guys. You are welcome. So this is not an At-Bats league. This is something. This is more like a little different. But I do want to do something with the Bats rosters at some point. You hope, yeah. I think let's look at. We can look at Kansas City. Let's look at their pitching and see where the quiz is. Yeah, he's in there. He is in there. I don't think he's done anything yet this season, but there he is. Yeah, he was in 1 game thus far, Clinton, and he worked 2 innings and 1 strikeout. So, but he is here. But we're talking depleted bullpens here. So there's Kansas City. Let's have a quick look at Minnesota, and then we'll get the hell out of here. So yeah, the next starter for Minnesota looks like Dutch Leonard. Is it Dutch Leonard? Dutch Leonard, yeah. So yeah, fun ball game. Thanks, guys. All right. What about my Pirates? So my Pirates right now, let's look at the standings. There's a lot. We'll look at the scores because there's still a lot of games on this day that look good. I almost did the Blue Jays and Cardinals, Juan Guzman versus Bob Gibson. I think that would have been fun. Phil Niekro to face Dennis Martinez, Braves Nationals. The Bucks and the Reds, Bob Friend versus Jose Rijo. My Pirates are 2-0, and the Reds are 0-2, as it should be. But Rijo's going to be tough. So not much to speak of standing-wise yet. And, yeah, so Teak, Teak's on this team. Where is he? Where is Tekulve? There he is. So Teak picked up a save in this league thus far. So Pirates looking pretty good. We got some pretty good closing pitchers here. I mean, we got Justy, and when you can use like Dave Justy as a set-off man, I mean, Melanson is the closer in this team. When you got Justy, and you got Teak there in the late innings, and you're ahead. That's some pretty good for a team that doesn't have there's not a Pirate that's in the Hall of Fame as a pitcher. But pretty respectable lineup. Adams, Friend, Deacon Felipe, Don Robinson, Bob Veal. Yeah, some good stuff. I definitely will, Clinton. It's fun. It's really, really fun. We'll be getting back to the integrated league as well. We're in 1894 now in that one. And Decades League, Action PC. We're going to do some more Pocket Pennant Run. We had fun last night answering a lot of questions. I'm hoping that somebody who has the game Pocket Pennant Run would maybe just like roll up a game of APA, use it as a board game companion, and maybe just let us know how that worked out for you. This is similar to a Bats League. So this one has all 30 franchises. And, we did I had the chat one night when I did this, started with this league. We're playing just a bunch of exhibition games. So there's more play time in this league than, I just finally decided time to start the damn season. But we had to we brought in some players that we thought deserved to be, and actually fired a few players. I remember that we had Cousin Ken looking at the Phils, and the Phillies just have a ridiculous starting rotation. I mean, you got Old Pete, Steve Carlton, Robin Roberts, Kurt Schilling, and Kurt Simmons. That is just not bad at all, man. You look at the Phillies lineups here really quick. Sliding Billy leading off there, Cousin. So you got Hamilton, McGee, Delahanty, Jack Clemens batting in the 4th spot, which is really kind of weird. But Schmidt there following up 5th, although Schmidt batting 7th versus righties. So, we do one of these games and somebody will say, "Hey, that's my team. I want to change the lineup for the game." I'm always up for that. That's really cool. That's it. Okay, so Clinton says he just got to download the Jasper, so version 4.01 of Pocket Pennant Run. Yeah, Clinton, I'd be really curious to see how the board game companion works for you. I know you watched the video and everything, and it's really, really easy to use. So, thank you to the new subscribers. Thank you to everybody who's been part of the channel, part of our family. And that is it. Fort Pitt, as they say in PA. So thank you to Clinton Parks, the professor. And yeah, so Ken Castro wanted to know how it's going to go too, because he's thinking about trying the Pocket Pennant Run companion with a 1901 project that he's going to start. Jim Constanti, yeah. So Constanti, he's not here. Let's do a search and see if Constanti's anywhere. We can certainly bring him in. That's the nice thing about this league, because everybody is in here. So Constanti is here as a retired player. I could activate him, so he is here. Lots of players. I mean, just to show you the scope of this league and how we can bring anybody in. This says everybody's in here, whether they're retired or whatever. So where's the damn player index? League home. Not that. Ugh. League history. There we go. Duh. History index. So there we go. I mean, so could not be opened in game browser because it's too big. So it had to open it in this browser. So these are just all the M players. So everything, what's cool about this Myths League is everybody who has played baseball is in here. Everybody is in here. So, this is why I love it. So you name a player, you want them on there. We could use this entire database and create like insane stuff. So he's there. He's just not on any team. Here's our Legends gallery that's in here. So this is a fantastic. I love this league so much. I love it. You want to look at voting history for the Hall of Fame? There it is, going all the way back. Now, the sharp item among you will notice this goes up to 2023. That's because this is originally an out of the park 2024. That's the only reason we're not seeing, right? Besides that, we're not seeing the 2024, but still, nice little bit of reference here for you. I think that's one of the other things I love so much, and what makes this my favorite of all the digital baseball games is the history and what you can do with this. And milestones, all this kind of stuff that just the other baseball games just don't do. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. There's Chicken on the Hill with Will. You want to see the current Phil's bullpen? Absolutely. Sure. You can do that. So we go to the Pirates home screen. And I can act as the Phillies because I got a feeling you're going to want to maybe change something. So let me act as the Philadelphia Phillies so that I have control over them. Okay. Phillies home screen. And let's look at pitching. All right. So let me see. What do we got here? So here you go. You got Madison as your closer, Ken Giles, your setup, Tug McGraw, Jack Bouchon in middle relief, Ron Reed, Huck Betts, Hector Harris, your long relievers. Cole Hamels working as a specialist against lefties. So that's your relief pitching for the Philadelphia Phillies. And again, pretty good rotation here. Pretty good rotation. And the Phils right now, what are they? They're 0-2, but you're not going to keep a tough team like this down at all. And I figured you'd be happy to see Sliding Billy in there. Little rough. Well, so cousin, who would you rather see? Anybody, I can sign whomever I want, do whatever. So maybe give it some thought. And then we can, next time we return to the Miss League, people can pick their favorite teams. You want to make changes? I'm happy. This league is so much in flux, and you just saw how big it is. So this is just a fraction of everybody available, obviously. And I forget the size of the rosters I set this to. So, and of course you can set, you can mix and match, chop and change, all this kind of stuff. Strategy, of course, and we can go player strategy, whatever. So there we go. Deep damn game. Don't get me wrong, Beats. You prefer? I prefer Out of the Park over Action PC. Also, I do. And Action PC is a great baseball game, but I think this one is the king for digital games, and that's saying a lot because I think there's some great digital games there. I play a lot of them. Baseball for Windows is amazing. Action PC, great. Diamond Mine, which doesn't stream well, is a great game. So, all right. Let me see if Papelbon's anywhere else, though, because let's make sure. Let's see if Jonathan is anywhere else, okay? So Papelbon is on the Red Sox. So we would have to be fair, we'd have to probably move Papelbon over. Let's look at Papelbon's career and see if this is where he should be. All right, looking at his real life stats. So 2005 to 2011 with the Red Sox, fewer years with the Phils. I guess that's why. So if we would trade Papelbon off the Sox, that we got to give the Red Sox a good closer. And I don't know what we got here as far as the Phillies go for a closer. That's the thing, huh? Papelbon is on the Red Sox. There he is. He's on the Red Sox. So, I mean, if I don't mind doing that, we can trade him to Philadelphia, but who are you going to offer the Red Sox? And I know you're not a Red Sox fan, Ken, but so Lidge, see where Lidge is. All right, let's check it out. And Brad Lidge is with the Houston Astros. Let's look at his record or his real life stats. So again, what do we do about, so you get these guys, right? I mean, we're dealing with old time players. It's easy because they played most, if not all, their career with a single team. But you get guys like Brad Lidge or whatever, Papelbon. Of course, the classic example is Kai Kyler. You can flip a coin. he should go to the Cubs, but he could equally go to a Pirates team. So keep him on the Red Sox. Otherwise, you receive cards and letters from Weiner Nation. Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's probably some closers that haven't been signed here. There's so many. Like I said, everybody up to 2023 is in this league. Everybody's in here. So I could make another God, I could take this, right? I mean, just how many leagues? If anybody wants this league, I'll zip it as a quick start. And all you have to do, it's actually out of the park 25 ready. And I actually imported this. I'm testing out of the park 26 using this league. So, and also testing a 2015 Pirates replay as well. So there you go. This would be, so if and I know, it's Steve's baby, and Steve's very much, an action PC guru. But because of the career play and stuff like that, and just like if I were to do a Field of Dreams type league, I would just load this in, dump everybody in, and you've got everybody, their whole careers right here. It would be fun. I'm not going to take the Fields of Dreams idea. That's their thing, and it's awesome. But I've often felt that out of the park, the only thing that we were talking about, I guess, with out of the park is if you're moving a season backwards, but you just draft that guy back because you've got everybody that played. Again, what they're doing there is amazing. So there's plenty of other things. And just to remind you guys, you can edit players, by the way. You can just go crazy in this game. So, his ratings, you disagree, change them. His batting ratings, change them. I just love how deep this game is. I really do. Let's see where Uehara is really quick. You guys seem to be up for a bit of. Let's see. Where's Koji? Koji's on the Red Sox. So you're going to see if any of you guys do get this league, you're going to see some players are going to both be on a team and retired. So that retired doesn't mean that's not the player that's going to show up in any stats. So like Lou Gehrig, you're going to see him active on the Yankees and retired. So, but that's not something that's intrusive. Tozawa, where's Tozawa? So he's not in this league. He's here. He is here. But he's not on any team. So that gives you a real good sense of how this is using the entire database. So I don't know. I mean, if you wanted to activate him onto the Phillies, I never played for Philadelphia though. That's the thing. But again, this is in flux, so I don't mind. I don't mind doing some trading and what ifs. I love the what if kind of stuff. So he doesn't have any baseball cards yet. So you guys can get a sense of what a BNN page here looks like in a career way, right? And this is the thing that, as I said, will track during a season all kinds of stuff. So good stuff. Okay, so Tozawa, let's see. Turk Farrell. See 2 R's, 2 L's. Yep. Let's see where he is. So Turk Farrell, where the hell are you, Turk? There's a lot of Farrells in baseball, guys. There he is. Turk Farrell, not on anybody's team. There he is. And he did play with the Phils from 56 to 61, and then finished his career with the Phillies 67, 68, 69. Turk Farrell. Pretty good year there with the Phils in 57, cousin. You know this, of course. 10-2 at 2.38 earned run average. 5.8 strikeouts per 9 innings. I didn't really know about this guy. It's Turk Farrell. So what was he? Lifetime 106, 111. But again, he was playing for some kind of challenging teams there. And then he, of course, he starts with the Colt 45s. So plays with them. So these Philadelphia Phillies. So let's look at the 1967 Philadelphia Phillies. Why don't we do that real quick? Let's go to the Phillies. And let's look at what they did in 67. Without going to Baseball Reference. Gotta love it. And boom. I'll give it a minute here. There we go. They were 82 and 80. And there's everything. There's everything. My God, if you love stats, this is a great game. And of course, you can open it in a browser and do other things and stuff like that. So, in the vernacular of the team, Clinton says he's good, number 4 or 5 starter. He eats innings pretty much. Yeah, Claude Osteen, right? Guy's gonna take a lot of innings for you. How about it? There are complete registers in this game, in this league. So, yeah, it's like, oh my God, what are you doing to me here right now? But big stuff, and trying to get this to do what I want it to do here. Yeah, crazy stuff. So, you want to look at your team's history. There you go. There's the batting register. So this would be a nice research tool too, which I don't even think you can do this like even in Baseball Reference. Maybe you can. So I'll look at my Pirates because that's who I'm familiar with. Okay. So why? Oh my God. So when you get a big thing like this, it starts to get a little bit wacko. Yikes. Let's go to batting leaders and see if it behaves itself. There we go. Great way to research your team right here. Really, really cool. So season highs for batting average. Look at Archie Vaughn actually outdoes Hannes Wagner. Had 2 higher seasons. Did that in what? 1935. Pretty cool. So this is one of those things where the Hall of Famers, you're going to see 2 versions, right? The retired one and then the one that's actually on the team. But those stats are still going to be the same. So there's the career. So, I mean, I already know this. Willie Stargell's our all-time home run leader. Kiner, what have you. So this is a great way to just, I don't know, research teams, research players. There's your team index, everything, all the way up to 2023. So, guys, if you want it, I will zip this, and all you have to do is just restart the season. I'll zip it up. I think it's brilliant. So. Well, if you're talking about the players, yeah. Or if I'm just duplicating, that's because I'm tired. We'll show playoffs, stuff like that. I just love that you just go to a season. It's like 1902. There's my Pittsburgh Pirates in 1902. They finished 14 games in front of the Brooklyn Bridegrooms. pretty deep shit here, man. Pretty deep. So this is the database of the game, if that's what you're asking, Clinton. But this is constructed in such a way that it uses the entire database. So guys like, Wade Conroy, Moonlight Graham is probably in here somewhere, with the New York Giants. I mean, so it's pretty much picked up everybody. And again, nice research tool. And you're like, oh, cool. Now I'm going to go play a game or whatever. Also, everything is sortable. Pretty nice. But again, if I mouse over Wagner, right, there's Wagner that's on Pittsburgh. And this is the retired. And it gives you the inducted in the Hall of Fame on the first ballot, 1936, blah, blah, blah. Right? So when you're doing your league research for the Hall of Famers, just make sure you're picking the one that says, so here's Tommy Leach. And then you go to Tommy Leach's page or whatever. So look at that. They scored 775 runs and allowed 440. They were just terribly dominant. Look at Clinton. Clinton, he's a Boston Red Sox fan. So here's what they did in 1902. And, of course, we know what happened in 1903. They beat the Pirates with that damn Tessie song. That damn Tessie song. So what they did with caught stealing is the same thing that pretty sure it's the same thing in Action PC Baseball, which just added that this year, caught stealing for and grounding into double play when that wasn't a stat that was kept yet. So this is kind of a whatever formula they're using, because you're not going to have caught stealing for 1902, not yet. I'm not messing with your Red Sox. I'm just saying there's your Red Sox from 1902. And a tough team they were, too. And, there's Lou Krieger, who has a interesting sort of, So there's your man. There's Freddie Perrin. There he is. There's Freddie. Freddie is actually, so even though the other thing to point out to you guys is even though he's listed on here, he's listed as among their batting leaders, but you see the retired, Freddie Perrin actually is not on the team. I don't know. He's retired? I don't know if he's playing for anybody. Just curious. I could just play with this database all night. It's just so much fun to. He's not on anybody's team. So there you go. So guys, you know what? I'll just make it available in the Negreevy Discord. And it'll be called, I'm going to call it Myths League. So look for that. I'll probably do that maybe like tomorrow or like over the weekend. I'll make this available. I think it's fun. Do with it what you want. Carry on crazy drafts or whatever. And just do it, man. Love the league newspaper and that Out of the Park Baseball does. It's just great. Just great, baby. So that's it, guys. So you may play with the ballparks. So that ballpark that you saw, it comes with the game. And then, of course, Mike Silva's ballparks, and there's other tons of ballparks, too, all over the place. But I decided for a league like this, I wanted to play them just in the modern ballparks. So, yeah. Good crack, says Aaron Reed. Good to see you, Aaron. Great to see you, buddy. We had a good game tonight, man. Twins and Royals. That was a battle. Took 13 innings to decide. So, loving it. I think the fun thing why I like this league is because you're reminded of maybe players that you've read about. And it's like the same that they have in the Field of Dreams League. You're learning about players that maybe you normally wouldn't. Like, I don't know the last time I heard, ran across Mel Harder's name, yet Indians/Guardian fans know about Mel Harder. So, looking at Mel real quickly, just for the hell of it. Pretty damn good career for this guy. Not Hall of Fame, but pretty good career, I would say. All things considered. So, for anybody that does download this, I hope you have fun with it. Again, you can go for pitching stats. It's got all kinds of basic pitching, expanded pitching stats 1, 2, and opponent batting stats against the pitcher. So it gets really, really deep with pitching. And you can look at his real pitching. You can also look at neutralized batting and neutralized pitching. So you can see what he would be like. And, all things, right? No ballpark effects, no anything. And this works with batters as well. So these guys are serious about this game. And David Baseball Demo said he got it for $10 last year. It will go as low as $10. I think it's worth a $50 price tag. I do. But that's me. Mel Harder is in the bats. Yeah, I do remember seeing that he was on the Cleveland rotation, cousin. 1935. So Clinton's saying, let's see if you do have Mel Harder in 1935. Let's have a look here. I have the bats rosters real quick. You guys, it's a good thing I don't have to. My job, I don't have to be there in the afternoon. Let's look where Mel Harder. Well, let's see what season they have for Mel Harder here. Cleveland, Mel Harder, 1934 is what they have for Mel Harder, in the Appa-Bats League. Yeah, so Ken echoing that 1934. So let's see how much of a difference between 34 and 35 for Mel Harder. So in 1934, Harder goes 20-12. In 1935, he goes 22-11. ERA climbs up a little bit at 2.61 earned run average. I'm just going to keep it on basic pitching stats. 2.61 earned run average. He had fewer starts in 1934. Six fewer starts. So his whip, toss a coin, 1.28 in 1934 versus 1.27 in 1935. Better. He wasn't an overpowering strikeout pitcher, obviously, but 3.2 strikeouts per 9 in 1934 versus 3. So, right, just a 0.2 of a point difference, I suppose. His BABIP was 292 and 35, 271, 34. I can see why they picked 34. His WAR's higher in 35, though. So that's kind of fun. Any other players anybody wants to see before we check out? Just let me know. I'll type up there in the search box. We can look at pretty much anybody. Or we can just call it. Aaron reads here. We should look at a red. Let's look at Paul Derringer. I don't know if this is a red that Aaron Reed even knows about. So there he is on the Cincinnati Reds, Paul Derringer. Let's go back here because I clicked on Reds and I want to click on Derringer. So we don't have. Yeah, there he is. There's Paul Derringer. Pretty good pitcher, Paul Derringer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 20 game seasons or more. Joe Nuxhall. We'll look at Joe Nuxhall. Sure. There he is, Joe Nuxhall, not on anybody's team. He's not on anybody's team, but there he is. Definitely not as good as Paul Derringer, that's for sure. I didn't know Nuxhall was a Canadian. I had no idea. I had no idea that he was from Canada. All right, Clint says I'm good. Going to be busy Saturday playing Providence. dinner. Oh, nice. Good. Yeah, I'm hanging out with the my female particle on Friday or Saturday night as well. So there'll be no baseball Saturday. Rare thing, unless we get some weird freak blizzard or something. I will not be on the air Saturday night. So, yep, Nuxhall, Hamilton, Ontario. I had no idea. Hamilton, Ontario. He was born 30th July, 1928. So, yeah, he's a Canuck. How about it? Oh, my God, I didn't even... Oh, there we go. You can look at, like... Man, these guys are crazy. So, holy shit. So, players from Canada, boom. Oh, my God, I didn't even know this did this. So, Action PC Baseball in the Baseball History Collection has a whole bunch of, right, countries of origin, but I didn't know this was even in here. So everybody in here, these are all the Canadian players. Pretty nice. Damn, these guys. All the coaches. And of course, the parks are geo-referenced. I know I sound like a show for Allo Park Baseball, but it's great. Look at Fergie Jenkins, man. Fergie. I'm on his Facebook. I'm his Facebook friend. I'm sure Fergie is like, I'm really glad that Beatles Eternally guy is on here. So, yep. Guys, thank you very much. This was fun. This reminds me of some of the old days, Cousin Ken. We would just bring up a game, but we would just look at stats. Remember that? We didn't even play any games. We just explored stats. And that's why I know that the folks that are in this family, hardcore baseball fans, because we're sitting here at 1:09 a.m. Eastern time, and we're looking at statistics. I love it. That's why I love hanging out with you guys, because we just geek out over the numbers. Gotta love it. I gotta get back and act as the Pirates now. Good God. There we go. Back to the Pirates. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Joey Votto, Canadian. No way. Yeah. City of birth unknown. Hey, he's a Canuck, though. Whatever. Joey Votto, Hall of Famer, yes or no? Anybody have any thoughts as everybody drops off, except for the hardcores? Some people yelling Joey Votto. 342 home runs, so that's, so you're up there around the Gil Hodges kind of neighborhood, I suppose. 297 average. I don't know. Reds fans are going to say yes, of course. Right? Oh, Joey here. Looks like Votto's best season was 2010. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you very much for coming in tonight. Yeah. Okay, Nuxhall. Yeah, that's exactly what that says Hamilton. No, that'd be Hamilton, Ontario. Let's double look here. Maybe he is. I don't know. Let's look. Let's see. Because I don't know. Who are we looking at again? Nuxhall? Nuxhall. Wikipedia. I'm checking. I'm going to check Baseball Reference. And let's see. Joe Nuxhall. Baseball Reference. Oh, Hamilton, Ohio. So that might be just a little mistake in the game there. Somebody might have put in the database, they might have made it ON when they should have made it OH. So cool. All right. Aaron Reed straighten out the Joe Nuxhall issue. Nice. The stats are at least right. So that's what I'm happy about. So anyhow, that's enough, guys. We will see you next time. I don't know what baseball game we're going to play, but we're going to play some baseball. And until then, I'll see you around the batting cage. Thanks, everybody, for coming in. I don't think 5 people want to sit and listen to the individual thank yous, or 8 people. Now we're back up to 8 people. So tonight's game, Twins and Royals. Twins pull it out 3-2 in 13 innings. Twins blowing a lot of chances, not getting it done early in the game. Royals held a lead, a 1-0 lead into the 8th. So good ball game. Thanks, guys. And see you around in batting cage. Please don't forget, 9th February, baseball extravaganza. All day, all evening, and as late into the night as possible. Because I know a lot of folks don't go to work the day after Super Bowl Sunday, so maybe we can do we'll do a thing where have a couple people come on, call some innings, whatever. We'll see what we can do. All right, guys. Good night. And thank you, one and all, for making this an awesome community.